posture of gratitude. Whatever. Welcome to another episode of What Brooke Saw, where I share wellness resources so that you and the people that you care about can thrive mentally, socially, and financially. All right, so it's annual review time at work, and I, of course, had to bring this up with my therapist. And LaTasha had a lot to say. No, she didn't. She actually let me do a lot of unpacking. My feelings about what I consider to be a problem. I'm coming to the realization that I'm kind of a hoarder of resources, and that is not okay. So let me unpack this. I grew up in poverty, and because of that, I have a hard time spending money. I consider myself to be very frugal, and I do a lot of like holding on to things because I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to lose my money and then have nothing to show for it. I don't have a lot of trust in my ability to make money back again, and that's kind of like at the heart of it. So we talked a little bit about hoarding, as far not as a disorder, but as just the idea of just holding on tight to what I have, what I've been blessed with, and not being letting it flow, right? What does this have to do with my annual review? Well, I have a professional development budget at work. I work for a startup media group, and it's a nonprofit, and one of our work benefits is that we have the ability to go to conferences or as long as it's approved by your manager, you can like take a course, or you can take a webinar, or you can, get a book or whatever, coaching, so on and so forth, as long as it's in the budget range, and it's approved by your manager. You can do all these things, and it's supposed to help you become more of a better employee. Sounds good, right? But I haven't touched it. I have not done what I need to do to get anything approved. I haven't even really looked through what some options are as far as something that I can get a return on my investment. And I was telling my therapist that seems kind of problematic for me right now. I'm in a stage of my career where I should be doing a lot of growing and a lot of like skill building and a lot of networking and things like that, and all those things. You hear a whole bunch of people talking about coaches nowadays, and of course you have mentors and things like that, sponsors, so on and so forth, that are resources that if you paid money you might be able to find a good one, right? Well, I have been holding my money close to my chest and that whole scarcity mentality has really kind of run its course. I need to like get to a place where I can think in terms of like being living in abundance. All right, so what am I about to do about it? Well, I am in the mood for growth, for one. So just being excited about the prospect of growing and learning and developing myself is step one of the problem, of coming up with a solution for the problem. Number two, I'm assuming a posture of gratitude. I want to say that I am so grateful to my company for developing a culture that doesn't have me code switching or disrespecting my boundaries, or making me feel like I need to censor myself, or it's not a sexist work environment, it's not a racist work environment, it's not one where I feel like I'm like the self-sacrificing Black woman and things like that. Like it is a healthy work environment, and I want to continue to work there. So I am looking forward to developing myself as a worker and as a person who is a contributor to a bunch of teams, because I'm on several teams at work. And so to do that, I want to set aside some money. I'm making a line item for professional development and for career development, and also some savings too. So I've set aside this money that I am going to use with the intention that it is going to have a return on my investment. And so I'm going to do some research around some goal setting, and in my industry, what that looks like for me right now. I'm going to do some research around career coaches and maybe even some like communications coaches, all these things that would be beneficial to me, not just in my professional life, but also in my personal life as well. I have some goals there that this YouTube channel, for crying out loud, I might need a YouTube coach, or I'm sure they're out there. There's a coach for everything. But yeah, that is what we unpacked. We unpacked hoarding resources, scarcity mentality. We talked about what my career outlooks are looking like and professional development, what that might look like. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what is to come. I'm excited for the opportunity to be blessed so that I can be a blessing. And ultimately, I'm looking forward to spending money in an intentional way, in a way that is courageous and smart and aligned with my values and my outlook for what my future will hold. So that's it for today's episode of the Therapy Diaries and the channel What Brooks Saw. And I really hope that you got something out of this. Maybe you might go to your therapist and talk about your professional goals with him or her. And if you would, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below what you thought of this video. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.